to another episode of Luck Life Plays. We are continuing our run-through of Radiance as part of 8-Bit Obscurity. Now, in the last episode, we went and bought all our stuff and got ourselves ready for adventure, and let's waste no time, let's get on to it. So, this is the Slums of Flan. Kind of the backstory of this game here is that you had this entire city that was pretty much overrun with monsters, all except for the docks area. And the docks area was the area we were just in. So our job is to basically clear the areas of the monsters and retake the town, starting with the slums. So we could have either gotten into random fights, like the one the enemies ran away from me from, or to clear the area we go to the predetermined fights where we walk into a room and there are enemies and they go, there's something going on. This is one such fight. Two orcs were arguing over papers and now I'm going to deal with them. The way the battle system works is, move and aim. You can switch weapons on the fly, so right now I have the two-handed sword equipped. I can switch it to the longbow. Good strategy on the beginning monsters here is to attack from a distance, let them close the distance, and just deal with them as they come. Obviously there's only two here, but if we can, get them before they touch us, then, better conserve hit points. So you can switch your weapons no matter what. Doesn't matter. Doesn't cost you any kind of movement point or anything like that. So feel free. The only problem with the beginning parts of the game is that everybody and everything misses a lot, because, you are a first level fighter, a first level thief, a first level, everything, so you have to level up. Your attack ratings are pretty low. As you can see. So unfortunately the beginning of the, don't want to do that. The beginning of the game is kind of lengthy in its waiting for, hoping that your guys hit. But when they do, orcs and stuff, they drop pretty fast. Case in point. Now the battle will continue until you get the screen here, continue battle. You can continue if you want, there's no reason to. The only reason would be to hit your own guys, and why, I guess you could use it to, heal, but you don't have to at this point. I surprised some goblins. I'll just let them run. I could do those random battles, but the experience point output is really low, and again, it takes a while. So here in this room here, a leader goblin is training young goblins and says, "Ooh, look at those guys," so we're gonna deal them. Go over to the first one very quickly. So move up a little bit. He closed that distance pretty fast there. Sherry has her bow equipped, so I'll deal with him. Missing. Ah, yes. The problem with the goblin leaders, the goblin leader is that pink one over there. He has ranged weapons too. So he will not close the distance quite like these guys will. He will stand outside of your range and shoot. So you're going to want to either deal with these guys quickly and get to them, or run up and deal with them first. And my cleric went down instantly. So the difficulty curve on this game is actually pretty tough. So we may see a few characters falling unconscious rather quickly. I will try to cut those parts out. Actually, to be honest, I recorded an entire episode in between this one and where I lost 3 characters, so you didn't miss anything because I just reloaded, but it happens. It happens a lot. And I hope that I don't have to show that to you, how easily it is that you can drop. Things can just not go your way. Especially in the beginning. Because you can be attacked randomly by goblins and orcs, which are pushovers, but not really because you're low level. They're supposed to be pushovers. You can deal with kobolds the same way. But then there's also groups of goblins led by a creature known as a bugbear, which is, stands twice as tall and hits twice as hard, and that thing just destroyed me. It was not a good start. But this time I got 2 leather armors instead of 1, so can't really complain. So, one thing I learned recently that I didn't know back then is the rooms that you fight, the predetermined battles, you can essentially rest here without punishment. If you try to rest in any other area, you'll be attacked by monsters, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but it happens. So, I'm going to rest long enough to get her back to 1 hit point. And another D&D rule, if you didn't know it, 0 hit points doesn't necessarily mean you're dead. It means you fall unconscious. Knocked out, if you will. And you can restore yourself. Pretty much with a simple cure. At that point I had to rest 24 hours to get 1 hit point back, but you'll know when a character is dead because it'll say slain right next to him. That's if they drop to, I believe, I don't know if it's the same in this game as it is in other, in the actual rule set, but -10 is dead. And as you stay at 0, you have a chance of bleeding out, which will drop you 1 hit point for every round until, -10. That's in the normal rule set. I don't know if it's the same here. Also, you have the look and search command here. Search, what it does is it makes you look at every square you go by. So every step you take, it'll take 10 minutes on that the time on the side there, the bottom left. On the top left-hand corner of the status screen. There we go. And the look command will just do it once. So I'm just going to look here, because I happen to know that that is where a secret treasure is, carrying a short bow. So moving on. I'm going to travel to this room in the top left-hand corner because I know it's another treasure room. And it has yet another magic short bow, which I'm not supposed to know it's magic yet. But, I mean, come on, it's obvious. I've surprised some orcs. I'll let them run. run. So at this point, because I gained some sizable loot, I'm gonna go back to town. This is what I tried to do last time when I got slaughtered. Surprise some kobolds. Let them run again. Great, I made it this time. Alright. So we are going to... First we're going to view our status to see how much experience we got. 725. Alright, no one can level up yet. Oh yeah, at nighttime you can't go into stores. So I need to rest till morning. Luckily everything opens at 5 in the morning. Alright, because I have 2 leather armors, but I know I won't need one of them, I'm just going to sell it without identifying it. And it's going to give me some really good money, so I will need that. So, because that short bow is 1750, I know that's the magic one. So we're not going to sell that one. We're going to sell this one that's just worth 7 gold. It's kind of a quick identify without identifying without, spending money. You kind of know that it's magic because he'll give you a ridiculous price. So, I got a +1 bow and a +1 armor. So, and before I identify that, let's see how it stands up to the longbow. So with the longbow, I do a d6 damage, which is, one die, 1 6-sided die. And this does a d6 damage +1, so that's better. So we're going to sell that longbow. This regular armor here. Now, how magic weapons work. The plus on it, which you'd see if I actually identified it. 1 second. Okay. How the pluses work is you not only get a +1 to your damage, you also get a +1 to hit the enemy. So if you notice, if I take off the short bow +1, my THAC0 is a 19 for Fizz Beef, but when I equip it, it's a 17. So it lowers your THAC0, which, as I explained in the first episode, is good. And it gives you a plus damage as well. Plus, there are other benefits as well. There are certain enemies that can only be hit by magic weapons or silver weapons. Which there's another store here that I could buy silver weapons. I won't do that until later when I actually need it. Because every coin counts. So we're gonna unequip that stupid sword and equip our +1 weapons. So we will have that much more survivability. I will also show you one more thing, which now that I think about it, I don't understand why I used Identify, spending that 200 gold on each of them, when I believe that Detect Magic does the same thing. Memorize Detect Magic and cast it. don't know if this actually works. I'm testing it just as much as... just to see if it actually works. Okay, so using Detect Magic will put a little star thing next to my my scroll there to tell me it's magical. So that's how it works. I never do that. I never actually bothered to use that spell back in the day, so I want to see if it actually identified it or not. So now we know. So this scroll has 2 cleric spells on it. Let's see which spells. Hold person. That will come in handy later. Alright, so that's the general gist of Pool of Radiance. It's, you know, go out, fight some monsters, get some treasure, come back, identify it, now you're a little bit better, go out, fight some more monsters, come back, you're a little bit better, and you keep doing that until you can go out to finish actual quests like clearing out those slums, clearing out So-Called Keep, moving on and on until we find out what's really causing all this problem. So that will be fun to move on and see bigger and better things. So this one ran a little long, I apologize. My name is Lucklight. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.